psychology as a scientific discipline. Yes, psychology is a science. What makes psychology a scientific discipline is one, it uses scientific methodology. And what are these scientific methodology? The scientific methodology includes empiricism, skepticism, parsimony, and then what? Determinism. When you talk about empiricism, you are talking about the objectivity being applied in psychology because of what? Research. Then we talk about what? Parsimony. Parsimony is all about what? Precision. Then determinism is all about this method and the laws that guides what? Science. So psychology is a science because what? It makes use of scientific words, methodology in its approach to research. Then there are also values of psychology that contributes to its what? Scientific aspect. And these values includes what? The values includes what? The accuracy, includes what? Determinism, falsification, and then what? Open-mindedness. You don't own it. It can't be subjective. Rather, it will be what? Objective. You do it open to everybody. You don't make it yours. That is the open-minded aspect of it. Then it must be accurate. We are now moving to the critical thinking in psychology. When you talk about critical thinking in psychology, we talk about the nervous system, the evolution and behavior, the psychology of sleep and dreaming, then sensation and what? Perception, the psychology of learning and memory, then the psychology of what? Emotion. Talking about the nervous system, this is all about, we have central nervous system and we have what? Peripheral nervous system. And what is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system? Peripheral nervous system is classified into two: the autonomous peripheral nervous system and what? The somatic peripheral nervous system. The autonomous peripheral nervous system is all about the unconscious. It talks about it controls the unconscious aspect of human behavior. Then the peripheral, the somatic peripheral nervous system talks about what? It handles what? The conscious aspects. Then when we talk about the autonomous aspect, we also have sympathetic and the parasympathetic. When we talk about sympathetic and the parasympathetic, the other one handles, like the central nervous system as a second aspect of nervous system, controls what? The consciousness of humans. The consciousness of what? Humans. And it is through this central nervous system that the brain, through the environmental stimuli, then the sense organ conveys the information to the brain. Then perception, interpretation, and learning will take place through what? Muscles and what? Organs. And then that's why when you express it in the environment, the sense organ will take it, translate it through the motor neuron and the sensory neuron, and then move it to the central nervous system. Perception, interpretation, labeling will then take place. That's why, for instance, I would always like to accompany teachings with example. Like you may hear a gunshot, for instance. When you hear that gunshot, the sense organ that will take it is what? Ear. The ear, as a sense organ responsible for sound, will kick that gunshot. Then through the sensory neuron, it will move it to the brain. The interpretation and the perception will be like some. It may be like maybe there are bullets around and all that. When it moves it to the brain, then through the muscle and the glands, it will be interpreted, and then labeling will take place. The labeling is what? That pull-ups are around. That's all that the labeling. Then when you come to evolution and behavior, we are accustomed to hearing how evolution has acted on our what? Autonomy and what? Philosophy. Such as forward-facing eyes and opposing what? Tongue. But what about evolution acting on what? Parenting what? Behavior. On a jealousy or what? Aggression. In this class, we will discuss the theories and then research review natural selection has also acted on what? Behavior. The psychology of sleep and dreaming. Psychology of sleep and dreaming. Going back to Sigmund Freud's theory of what? Psychoanalysis. He talks about sleep and dream equally. Who says what? That during the developmental stage, that any behavior that the ego should not resolve between the id and the superego will be moved into the unconscious and will be repressed and will seek what? We seek to be what? Re-acted again in the future life. That is dream. Dream according to Sigmund Freud. is part of our unconscious life that we usually unveil unconsciously through dream. And then he talked about slip of tongue equally. What he said about slip of tongue is that most of the things we call slip of tongue is out of what we have experienced, what has been repressed in our unconscious mind, that we unconsciously unveil without knowing when we are doing it. Then sensation and what? Perception. Coming to the environmental stimuli. When you talk about sensation and perception, when something takes place in our external environment, the sensory organ picks it through the what? The sense organs that's responsible for that environmental stimuli. If it's sound, the ear as a sense organ for sound will pick it. If it's something light, for instance, the eye as a sense organ for seeing will pick that light. If it's what? Pain, the skin will what? Pick it. That's sensation. Then when it picks it, it moves it to the brain equally. Through what? Neuron. We have sensory neuron and we have motor neuron that will move it. That's when the interpretation will take place. The person will perceive it. Depending on I will always center on individuality. What they may perceive it may be different from how they will perceive it, depending on what happens. The interpretation will come together with this very perception. Because when you perceive it, you interpret it, and your interpretation will depend on what you will then determine what you will label it. Some interpret it that maybe the gunshot is hoodlums. Then you will label it what? He has labeled it what? Hoodlums. Some will say that there are celebrants. Then those people have labeled it what? Celebrants. There is celebration going on somewhere. That the gunshot is as a result of what? Celebration. So this is a particular environmental stimuli being interpreted by different individuals. And then what? Different things. That's sensation and what? Perception. Then moving to the psychology of what? Learning and memory. Psychology of learning and memory. Learning, they say, is passive. We continue learning. Morning, afternoon, and night, and until we do what? We die. The psychology of what? Emotion. Psychology of emotion. That is, it's all about, it centers on how we feel. How we feel over environmental happenings. How we feel over our life experiences. And over one incident or activities of the other. The emotion. When something good happens, our emotion seems to be what? Delightful. But when something ugly or something dangerous or something that nobody expected or negative happens, the emotion will then be what? Negative. When something positive happens, your emotion turns positive, liking. And then probably when it turns to negative, it will automatically switch to what? To negative. And that's its one word, emotion. Now,